Welcome to the deep dive. It's 2025, and AI-generated content.
Mm.
What? It's just everywhere, isn't it?
It really is. Flooding the zone, you might say.
Absolutely. Articles, marketing stuff. And here's the kicker. This statistic really got me. Humans, apparently, we can only identify AI writing correctly about 53% of the time.
Wow.
Yeah. That's barely better than flipping a coin.
Right. Not exactly reliable.
So if we can't spot it ourselves, what's the plan? That's what we're diving into today, the essential world of AI content detectors. We want to figure out how they work, who the top players are, and what their limits and abilities really mean for you listening.
And you're right, this deep dive, think of it as your shortcut to getting properly clued up on something that's frankly moving incredibly fast.
It feels like it changes every week.
It almost does. And the core why we need these tools, it's fundamentally about, well, keeping content integrity. Authenticity.
And avoiding plagiarism headaches.
Definitely reducing those risks, yeah. Across so many areas, business, schools, publishing, you name it.
Makes sense.
And the thing is, the best tools out there now, they're not just guessing, they're claiming accuracy rates, somewhere between 85% and sometimes up to 99%.
Okay, 85 to 99. That's a significant claim. So given AI content is just, part of the furniture in 2025, and we're stuck at that frankly dismal 53% detection rate. These AI detectors really do seem like the vital solution. But how solid are those accuracy claims in the real world?
Well, it is a vital solution, no doubt. But it's not just about playing Spot the Robot. It's deeper. It's about quality, authenticity, especially now. Because as the AI writing gets better and better,
Which it is.
these detectors are shifting from, like, a nice extra to totally indispensable. Businesses need them for brand voice, educators for academic honesty,
See that?
and publishers, obviously, to check originality before hitting publish. The real challenge, though, is making sure those high accuracy numbers actually hold water when things get messy.
Okay, so let's unpack that. What actually makes an AI detector good? It can't just be one percentage figure, right?
No, definitely not.
We've heard this phrase, the best ones merge technical precision with practical usability. What does that mean in practice?
It's surprisingly complex, actually, pinning down what good means here. It's way beyond just one accuracy number.
Okay.
Selection accuracy is like the foundation, obviously, but it's nuanced. These tools, they analyze really subtle writing patterns.
Like what? Sentence structure?
Yeah, sentence structure, word choice, even how predictable the next word is, that kind of thing. They estimate the odds it came from an AI.
Interesting.
And a study back in 2023 really showed this complexity. True positive rates, so correctly identifying AI, they were all over the map. Under 20% for some tools, over 98% for others.
Wow, that's a huge difference.
It is. And here's the critical bit. Some detectors that were like 100% spot on for older AI, like GPT 3.5, they completely failed with GPT-4.
Oh, right.
It just highlights this constant catch-up game with the newer AI models.
So it's not a static problem at all then. It sounds like these detectors are in this perpetual arms race with the AI models themselves.
Precisely. Which leads straight into the next big factor, cross-model compatibility.
Makes sense. People use different AI tools.
Exactly. Organizations aren't just using one AI, they've probably got a mix. And that same study, it showed detectors were generally better with GPT 3.5 than GPT-4, again, showing how AI progress makes detection harder.
Right.
And then there's the practical stuff, file support and scalability. A good tool has to handle plain text, PDFs, Word docs.
Just the stuff people actually use.
Right, to fit into workflows easily. That versatility is key. It has to be accurate, sure, but also usable.
That makes total sense.
Sure.
And when we were looking into how these tools get assessed, the methodology seemed pretty robust, like real-world testing, using actual human writing, AI stuff from ChatGPT and Claude, and even those texts that are a mix of both.
The hybrid ones, yeah. Those are true.
And the goal was looking at sensitivity, how well they catch the AI stuff.
Right.
Specificity, how well they leave the human stuff alone.
Yeah.
Avoid false positives.
Crucial.
And the overall predictive values, basically how reliable they are day to day. And here's something really interesting that came out. Text length matters. A lot.
Ah, yes. Longer texts.
Yeah, longer text, like 300 words or more. They consistently gave better, more reliable results. We even looked at tests on humanized AI text, AI writing that someone's tweaked.
To try and fool the detector.
Exactly. to see how well the detectors handle those more sophisticated attempts.
But even with all that tech, we have to be honest here, right? No tool is perfect.
Absolutely. We saw that in the testing data. Somewhere between, 10% and 28% of human-written pieces got wrongly flagged as AI.
Yeah, and that's a significant number, false positive.
It really is. Could have real consequences.
And this brings up a really important point. Grammarly actually says it quite plainly. AI detection isn't foolproof. False positives and negatives are possible.
So forget perfection.
Exactly. It's not about finding some magical perfect detector. It's about prioritizing reliability and usability in the real world.
Okay.
The best tools, they get this. They offer transparent confidence scores. They explain why they flagged something. And critically, they have features that keep humans in the loop.
Human oversight.
Essential. The goal is to inform judgment, not replace it.
So if perfection's off the table, how do we manage expectations? Especially when, like you said, a false positive could seriously impact someone, a writer, a student.
That's the key conversation, isn't it? It means shifting from thinking of these tools as giving a simple yes or no answer.
It's more like probabilities.
Exactly, probabilistic results. And this is where modern detectors are evolving. They're not just standalone things anymore. They increasingly offer these powerful API integrations.
Oh, it's the APIs.
Right. Yeah, application programming interfaces. This is where things get really efficient for workflows.
That's so.
Well, these APIs, especially if you connect them to a visual builder platform, Latenode is a good example. They can turn manual checks into automated quality layers. Imagine automatically scanning every piece of content submitted.
Without someone having to copy-paste everything.
Right. Flagging suspicious stuff, keeping audit trails, all without needing to be a coder.
That sounds genuinely useful.
It's huge for reducing manual work, but also for scaling up if you handle loads of content. Vital. But the real power is combining that automation efficiency with that necessary human oversight. It makes them practical tools for quality control.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So with all that context, the complexity, the limitations, the potential of APIs who are the actual standouts, you looked at 7 top detectors for 2025. Let's maybe unpack a few that caught your eye. Starting with, say, Sapling. What's its deal?
Sapling. Yeah, Sapling really stands out for its focus on precision, especially the detailed sentence-by-sentence analysis it offers.
Okay, precision.
It claims over 97% detection accuracy with a false positive rate under 3%. Pretty good numbers.
How does it work?
It uses this interesting dual detection method with a machine learning transformer model. That's a type of AI good at language to figure out the AI likelihood for each word. So you get an overall score, but also flags on specific sentences that seem to, basic or predictable.
And features. API.
Yep, shareable links, regular updates, and crucial API access for integration. But, and this is key, they strongly advise mixing the automated results with human judgment.
Always back to the human check.
Always. One study found it had 100% AI accuracy, which is great, but also flagged human writing quite often. So you need that balance.
Pricing.
There's a free tier, limited to 300 words per check. Then a pro plan, $25 a month, gives you more characters and that API access.
And with that API, what could you do?
Oh, you could integrate it, say, with Latenode to automatically scan Google Docs as they come in. If something gets a high AI probability score, send a Slack notification to an editor. Saves tons of manual checks.
Nice. Okay, next up, Winston AI. What's its unique selling point?
Winston AI is really known for, exceptionally high precision, and it's very solid API integration, great for some smoothing out workflows.
High precision, like number.
Impressive ones. They claim 99.98% accuracy across ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, and it's user-friendly, too. Gives you an overall score, detailed feedback, even has plagiarism detection and batch processing.
Sounds comprehensive.
It is. We found a quote from Professor Shauna Burns calling it, by far the most accurate AI detection solution on the market. High praise.
And the API, how does that work?
It's a credit-based system, pretty cost-effective, actually. Around $35 gets you 500,000 credits, which works out to about 7 cents per 1,000 words.
Okay.
Their API is really strong, which makes it perfect for automating quality checks. You could set it up to auto-scan new blog posts, log the scores, and flag anything suspicious for human review before it goes live.
Got it. How about Zero GPT? Sounds free. Is it good?
Zero GPT is definitely best known for being a free option, and it has good multilingual support, even mobile integration via WhatsApp or Telegram.
Interesting. Accuracy.
They claim over 98% across different languages. It's powered by their deep analyse tech, trained on like 10 million articles.
And using it.
Simple, paste text up to 15,000 characters on the free plan, and it gives you a percentage score. In testing, it did catch all the AI stuff from ChatGPT and Gemini we threw at it.
Wow.
But we did see some inconsistencies in real-world use. Sometimes it misidentified human writing, so not perfect.
Pricing beyond free.
Yeah, there's a pro plan at about $8 a month for more characters, and API access costs around 3.4 cents per 1,000 words.
An API use case?
Again, automation. You could build a content verification system, scan blog drafts, log scores to a spreadsheet, flag the high-risk ones automatically.
Okay, moving on. GPT-0. I heard this one's popular with educators.
Yes, GPT-0 really excels at detecting that mixed content, part human, part AI. And yeah, it's tailored quite well for educators and content managers.
Mixed content accuracy.
It's around 96.5% for mixed. For purely AI or purely human text, they claim 99%.
How does it manage the mixed stuff?
It uses a pretty sophisticated 7-part detection system. Includes things like perplexity analysis.
Perplexity, what's that?
It basically measures how predictable the text is, how surprised the model is by the next word. Lower surprise often means more machine-like. Plus sentence-level checks. It detects the big models, ChatGPT, GPT-4, Gemini, Claude, Llama, and it gives confidence ratings. Uncertain, moderately confident, highly confident.
And how reliable are those ratings?
They claim less than a 1% error rate for the highly confident ones, which is pretty good. TechCrunch called it the only consistent performer in one test.
Any other notable features?
Yes, they've worked on reducing bias. Since 2022, they tweaked things to cut false positives on texts from non-native English speakers, like TOEFL essays, down to just 1.1%. That's important.
Definitely. API. Pricing.
Free API for researchers. Pricing tiers range from about $8.33 for essential up to $24.99 a month for professional.
And API integration.
Similar possibilities. Automate scanning of student papers or content submissions, log results to Google Sheets, streamline the review process.
Right. Next on the list is copy leaks. Sounds more enterprise-focused.
Copy leaks is definitely strong for large-scale detection, excellent multilingual support, and really robust integrations for businesses.
Accuracy claims.
They claim 99% across the major models, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, even things like DeepSeek, and a super low false positive rate, 0.2%, across more than 30 languages.
That 0.2% sounds impressive. Is it verified?
They say it's validated by independent studies. Plus, it has enterprise-level security credentials, API, and LMS integrations.
LMS, Learning Management System.
Exactly. Good for education. It also has an AI logic system using multiple checks, detects AI-generated code, handles plagiarism in over 100 languages, and, importantly, tries not to flag stuff written with tools like Grammarly.
That's a common concern.
It is. Pricing is varied. It starts around $8 per user per month. They have specific plans for plagiarism, AI detection, or both. Business and academic plans are around $10, $11 a month. There's a free plan, too, but limited to 10 pages.
Downsides.
The credit system can be a bit confusing for some, and the cost might be high for individuals.
API potential.
Strong. Automate analysis of Google Docs, log results into project tools like Asana or Trello, flag risky stuff for review. Great for big teams.
Okay, 2 more. Smodin.
Smodin is positioned well for students and educators. Reliable AI detection plus other academic tools.
Accuracy.
Over 90% generally. One test showed it catching 95% of ChatGPT-4 content, and its fast processes text in under 3 seconds.
Academic tools?
Yeah, plagiarism checker, essay writing help, even a chemistry problem solver, oddly enough.
Oh, okay. Interface.
Simple, rates sex from very likely AI down to likely human.
Any limitations noted?
Well, in some tests focusing on mixed content, it only caught about 35% of the AI parts. And some users have reported issues with billing or customer support, so maybe some growing pains there.
Yes, sir. Quotes.
We saw positive ones from a professor using it for student work and a student finding it more accurate than others.
Pricing. API.
Free version for up to 2,000 words. Paid plans from $10 to $30 based on document size. And yes, Latenode integration is possible to automate checking student assignments.
And finally, originality AI. What's its niche?
Originality AI targets publishers, agencies, content marketers, advanced detection plus integrated editorial features.
Accuracy sounds like a theme here.
It is. They claim 99% across the latest models like GPT-4o and Claude 3. They offer different detection models too, like Turbo for speed versus Light for lower false positives, plus a multilingual option.
What's unique about it?
A big one is detecting paraphrase plagiarism, where someone takes AI content and heavily rewrites it. That's harder to catch.
Yeah. That's sneaky.
Exactly. Plus standard plagiarism checks, detailed reports, real-time analysis. It's quite feature-rich for content pros, often called the most accurate.
Pricing structure?
Flexible. Pay-as-you-go is $30 for 300,000 words, valid for 2 years, or monthly, around $15 for 200,000 words.
And Latenode integration.
Yep, publishers can use it to automate checks on new blog posts, review freelance submissions, flag potential AI before publishing, and keep those important audit trails.
Okay, wow. That's a lot of detail in the top tools.
Yep.
So after running through all that, the big question remains, should you, the listener, actually use an AI content detector?
Mm-hmm.
Because it really sounds like adopting them isn't automatic. It's a considered choice, not just a simple yes or no.
That's exactly right. It's nuanced. The core thing to remember is these tools give probabilistic results.
Probability is not proof.
Precisely. Confidence scores, likelihoods, not definitive judgments. And their reliability really hangs on the context.
Like which AI model wrote the text.
Yes. They tend to do better with other models like GPT 3.5. And text length, they generally need at least 100 words, preferably more, for a reliable read.
And that Grammarly quote comes back.
AI-generated content is getting better, making detection increasingly difficult. It's a moving target, so they're not foolproof. But, and this is important, they are incredibly useful when used correctly.
So how effective are they really out in the wild, given all these caveats? Are there concrete examples?
Yeah, there are. Despite the limitations, when used strategically, they make a difference. We found an example of a big digital publisher. They used OpenAI's tool and cut down on publishing low-quality AI content by 35%.
Okay, that's significant.
And an academic institution using CopyLeaks saw AI-related plagiarism drop by 30%.
So they can work.
They can. The key is wise use. That means maybe cross-checking results with a couple of tools if something seems off.
Right. Don't just trust the first result blindly.
Never. And always, always do a close human review of anything flagged. Consider the writer's typical style, the overall readability. Does it feel right?
Combine it with other checks.
Absolutely. Use them alongside traditional plagiarism checkers, check citations, track authorship if you can. Build a layered approach.
So it's definitely not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Not at all. And transparency is huge, especially in professional or academic settings. Be clear about how you're using these tools in your review process. Set fair expectations.
And this is where that automation piece comes back in.
Exactly. Integrating these tools into automated workflows, maybe using something like Latenode, can really boost efficiency.
How so?
You automate the initial scan, log the results automatically, maybe route anything flagged above a certain threshold straight to a human reviewer.
So the tech does the heavy lifting, but the human makes the call.
Precisely. Human judgment must remain central. The final assessment. Always a human decision. That blend of smart automation and essential human expertise, that's the practical path forward for ensuring content authenticity now.
Right. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, it feels pretty clear that AI content detectors, they're basically indispensable here in 2025.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
They're playing this really vital role in trying to ensure authenticity online across all sorts of fields. But, as we've discussed, while they're powerful, they're definitely not perfect.
Not even close sometimes.
And that human oversight piece is just paramount.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable, really.
Absolutely. And if you connect this all together, the real key to maintaining content authenticity going forward, it seems to lie in blending different detection methods, using smart automation smartly.
Like with Latenode.
Right. And critically, layering on that human expertise. That combination seems like the winning strategy for navigating this constantly shifting landscape of AI writing.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You know, as AI keeps evolving, it's obvious that content authenticity isn't some fixed goalpost anymore. Maybe the real takeaway from our deep dive today is that vigilance, smart tool integration, and especially that human discernment, they aren't just helpful options. They're kind of the new foundation for digital trust.
Well said.
Which leaves us with a thought to ponder. As AI keeps blurring these lines between human and machine creation, What new forms, what new definitions of authentic will we actually need to define and uphold in the future? What stood out most to you from today's discussion?